Okay, so we've got a couple things going on, and I'm not exactly sure. Over here, this is the library book sell-off. I guess it's an annual event. That's when they get rid of all the books that are no longer any good and buy a bunch of new books that are actually really good. So if we want to pan right around here, I got a good turnout, right? I just wonder what's wrong with the books. Well, I guess there's nothing wrong. They just need new books or something like that. So it's a pretty neat day. Let's take a look. You know, the books don't really interest me. Let's go over here and talk to some rangers and find out what's going on there. So I wonder what time this gig starts. Looks like it's in the early ramp-up stages. And I'm just seeing some trickle-in stuff. Okay, so we're walking into a zone where it might be hard for you to actually hear me. The background music and the audio is going to be a little tough at this point. And we're going to have to figure that out. So, hang in Hey, what's going on here? What are you guys up to today?
This is a meeting of former Texas Ranger
The
Association.
former Texas, is this like kind of a benefit for the new museum?
It's part of that, and Mr. Davis here can tell you more about
This
that.
Joe Davis?
Joe Davis.
Ah, great. We talked once before last year. I'm Barry
Yeah.
O'Brien with FPG Live.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we're being covered right now live on the internet.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, I'm a reporter with FPG Live. I think we talked about the Mesaba Comanche Treaty last year in depth quite a bit. Just how they felt that that spot that they're missing was.
I didn't talk to you about that, but maybe somebody.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I thought
His name's Stuart.
Yeah.
Well, anyways.
Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
So I guess they're out here again today too. You know,
I heard. I
anything
haven't.
about that?
No, I haven't seen them. I heard that they may be here. You know, we haven't been contacted by them or Randy Rubley. I think the one that's kind of been creating all this. So I'm in the dark on that. We were with the Comanche Nation chief over in Camp Verde, where I live, here last year. Matter of fact, we shook hands and had a good ceremony.
Yeah, I talked to you right after you went there, and you were totally taken aback by what I said.
Yeah, were you over at Camp Verde? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, we haven't been contacted by anybody in this area about our property over here. I don't know really where they're getting that. You know, 11 or 12 acres adjoins Fort Martin Scott. It's adjacent to it. It's not on Fort Martin Scott's property.
Right.
And we're between the creek and Fort Martin Scott. And there's nothing to indicate that there's any kind of sacred ground there. We had an archaeological survey done, matter of fact, several months ago, and real thorough. And it's been approved by the Texas Historical Commission to go forward with our project. They didn't find anything there to indicate that there were ever an Indian campground or whatever they're saying. I'm not familiar with that belief.
Yeah, I've actually done some work on that too, but I'm actually here to find out firsthand what their story is, because I've heard different stories going around. So
I don't know what their story is either.
Well, I'll let you know when I get done with that.
I know they had a powwow there or something.
So can you tell me some more about the new former Texas Rangers Association Museum? What's the name of that association? Former Texas Rangers.
It's going to be called the Texas Ranger Heritage Center, and it's going to be made up of 5 galleries. It's going to be the state-of-the-art facility. 5 galleries that are all, the displays will be interactive. So when you go through there, you'll actually see history as if you're standing there watching it. You know, it's a known fact that the more history you know, the better citizen you make. And our school kids are not getting the Texas history like we feel they should. And it's really going toward them to educate them on the history of Texas, about those people that made many sacrifices to make this state what it is. And so there'll be 5 galleries from the beginning of the Rangers, where Stephen F. Austin were in the first 10, right on through the Alamo, and the Rangers that went into the Alamo from Gonzales that died there, right on up to the modern day Rangers.
A lot of people like to say that, you know, whoever writes history gets to kind of like frame it. But, you know, you already have a museum already in San Antonio. Is that correct?
We've had a museum, a static museum more or less, where we just had the artifacts. We've had that since 1936. It was built in a building next to the Whitty that was it was built in honor of the Rangers, Trail Drivers, and Pioneers.
So you're around since 1936.
Yeah, during the Texas Centennial, yeah. And so that building, what our board, after looking at it, and we couldn't progress there, and it wasn't climate controlled, so we got concerned about our artifacts. So that's when we decided to build this new facility.
Right. Your initial build place was between Fredericksburg and between Kerrville too. You know, they both had significance for the Texas Rangers. Is that correct?
Yeah, right. We were originally going to build on a piece of property there in Kerrville. However, that didn't work out. We had a hard problem getting all our support. Most of our financial support was coming outside of Kerrville. Some of our big supporters said, well, Kerrville was going to be the benefactors, and they hadn't been able to give a gift. And so we got to look around, and we looked at Kerrville real close. You know, they're having a problem over there with tourists and all. And we knew we would have to have a place, and this is a tourist destination. So we looked at Kerrville, gave them the opportunity, Fredericksburg and San Antonio. And Fredericksburg came up with a package for us that we couldn't turn down. They leased, give us a 9-year lease on the property. We didn't have to purchase the property like we did at Kerrville. We spent $500,000 on 15 acres in Kerrville, and we now have that property up for sale, and it's tripled in value. So everybody, oh yeah, we're not going to be in no rush to sell it.
Care to tell us at all what happened in Kerrville?
Pardon?
What's the backstory of Kerrville? What happened? Why did you build there? You bought property?
Well, we just looked at it as far as we had a lot of support outside of Kerrville, and our board and our people giving us gifts said if they can't support you in Kerrville, we couldn't get a donation. The biggest gift we got in Kerrville was $25,000, and that came from one of our board members. He was the CEO of the bank that was on our board. Our board is made up of bankers, lawyers, financial investors, so when we all took a look at it and figured out that Kerrville is compared to Fredericksburg, we need to survive. And you're not going to survive. You know, the Cowboy Artist Museum is having difficulties over there right now. They don't know if they're going to be able to keep the door open. They were hoping we'd build across from them to try to help them. But we had to look out, and that's why we moved over here.
Okay,
it's a business decision.
So, for my viewers and for my benefit, what's the address or where's the location of your current museum in San Antonio?
Currently, we were next to the Whitty. Okay, now we're inside the Buckhorn Museum on East Houston Street, 2 blocks from the Alamo. Contractors asked if we would loan our items to them. They would buy a building next to them and show them. So we worked out a contract with them, and they're running. We put in our artifacts there, some of them. And so they're right there on East Houston Street, 2 blocks west of the Alamo and the Buckhorn Museum.
Okay. Well, we might be popping in on you guys just to see what your old place looks like. And I hope you. Everything goes really well for you.
We've been getting some great funding. We are not ready to announce it, but we've got some large gifts lately, and we're ready to announce that. Everything's going real well since we've been over here. We've had a lot of local support. Everybody really supported us over here. We had an open house with over 200 people come over just a while back in our office. So we got volunteers here.
Where's your local office?
know where the law enforcement building is?
Yeah, across the street from there.
We're right on the same side of the street as them. We look into their parking lot.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay.
So we're great to be here. We're excited about being in Fredericksburg, and I think it's a win-win situation for both.
Okay, well, thank you, Joe Davis.
Yeah, you bet. Thank you.
Here, I'll be emailing you to get the follow-up stuff.
Yeah, you know, they've never even talked to us. If they want to come by and talk to us, we'd be glad to talk to them.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good one.
Come on in, let's keep going. Try and see what else is going on here. I guess they have a sign.
She should have four. She should have
Fun.
4 meal tickets.
What time does this thing stop? Well, we're gonna drop the camera now, because it's about time for me to have a smoke break. Love you guys.